Hello, you're welcome to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into it. So today we're talking about Ready to List Atlanta, episode 2. And the episode started with a scene with Kira and B. Simone. So B. Simone was viewing a property. As you know, Kira is an estate agent. So Kira was showing her the property, the condo in particular. And so my initial thoughts was when Kira showed B. Simone the closet, I'm thinking, this girl is an influencer. How are you going to show her a tiny closet, an apartment with a tiny closet? All she cares about is a closet. Like, B. Simone, I'm not speaking for you, but as someone who does content creation and stuff, like, my ideal home would be somewhere with a lot of closet space. So, yeah, all that, as soon as I saw that, I was like, girl, no. They should have cut some space from that living room and made a bum-ass closet, okay? Anyways, yeah, I definitely did not blame Simone for saying this is not a property. I would have said no too. And also, the prices seem very affordable. So does that mean it's time for me to move to Atlanta or what? Anyway, so let's move on. Do you know the part that really got me in that scene, I have to be honest, was when the girls, Kira and B. Simone, did not know where the sun will rise from and where, and directions. They didn't know where north was, east was, south was. I was like, girl, that is me. I have no idea. I'm really bad with, directions. No matter how much you tell me this is north, south, east, chances are I will forget. I just have never been one for geography. It just never stuck. So yeah, I got it. It was hilarious though, watching them try to figure out, Siri, where does the sun rise from? I just thought that was funny. Anyways, we'll move on to the scene with Kiana and her husband. When her husband said the gram is where you live, I cracked up. I was like, ooh, don't out her now, husband. That being said, the husband does seem like a hype man. He seemed like, you know how you see partners and you see one that is always hyping the other and is like, yes, you go, you do this, I see what you do. I get the impression that her husband is someone like that. Like, he kept saying, they call you the real estate queen of the South. I was like, yes, husband, yes. I'm all here for supportive men and women, of course. But I just love when your partner is supportive, okay? So when Kiana started talking to her husband about Robin and how when she needed Robin to hold her licenses, Robin wanted to charge $50 per head. I almost said pounds. $50 per head. And I think she had 26 licenses that she needed Robin to hold. And so she was really, really upset. $500. I'm sorry. And she was really, really upset about it. And her husband, understood that, yes, you guys are friends and, but her husband understood that it was a business decision. I don't like when friends come at you for charging a certain amount, especially if that is what you as a firm would normally charge. Like, at the end of the day, friendship is friendship, business is business. If you come to me for a business opportunity or you come to me for a business and I charge a certain amount, then it's my prerogative. I can't even say the word prerogative. Yeah, that's just prerogative. Yes, that's it. To charge whatever it is I want to charge. Like, if, for example, I charge $500 to everyone else, and you come up to me and say, oh, can I please do this for you? I'm like, yeah, my rate is £500. If you say to me, okay, I can't afford £500, I can afford $250. I would say, well, that's not what I do. However, maybe perhaps because it's you, I might decide to give you that discount. Or I could say, no, £500 is the price. $500 is the price, and that's that. But I shouldn't then have issues with you. You shouldn't have issues with me because I said how much I would normally charge people. Now, if it's a different thing, let's say I charge other people $50 and I say to you, I want you to pay $500 per piece. And then you find out that I charge other people $50. Then you have the right to be upset. Anything besides that, girl, shut up. It's too much. Anyways, move on. And so when she started saying in her confessional, so this is still Kiana, when she started saying in her confessional, whatever Robin needs, during her dinner, it's going to be a no from me. And then she proceeded to say that she wanted the girls to come together so they can see why their answer should also be no. I was like, girl, you petty as heck. You are petty. At this point, your name should not be Kiana. It should be Petiana, because you petty as hell. Like, girl, it's business. Stop it. I do like Kiana, but I was like, girl, it's business. You seem like a girl that is about her business. So I'm sure you would have done the same thing if you had the opportunity. Anyways, we move. So we move on to the scene with Kira. And when she talked about losing her home to the fire, honestly, that was so sad. I kept watching and thinking, oh my God, imagine working so hard to build something and then just waking up one day and it's all gone. That is so, so sad. So I can imagine her crying. Also, I understand that her and her partner at the time ended up breaking up, because honestly, that can put a lot of strain on a relationship, especially when you guys have come together and put monies together. And sometimes it always ends up with someone blaming the other. Oh, what did you do? You know, you didn't watch this properly. If you were at home, this wouldn't have happened. You know, the whole house wouldn't have burnt down. You know, those sorts of things. One person would always blame the other. Well, most times. And then that's usually how it ends up ending in tears. Anyways, but yeah, that was a sad one. So we move forward to the scene with Tiffany and her family. Girl, first of all, Tiffany has a beautiful family. That's one. But when she talked about like managing work and family and how that's a struggle, girl, I could relate. And I am a single woman. I ain't got no kids yet. You know, I don't have a dog. I don't have a pet. So I ain't got with that many responsibilities. But even with that, I feel like managing my life can be so challenging with career, with content, with all these things. So I can only imagine how she feels and how women around the world feel, especially when they're, having like such primary carer roles in their kids' lives and doing everything and trying to be an amazing wife, trying to be an amazing spouse, and trying to be an amazing mother. Like, that has to be intense, and that can take a toll on people. So I definitely get that. So when she started talking about her anxiety and how like she felt, a lot of things were happening to her. She was anxious, struggled to get out and leave the house and all of these things. That just was something that I really felt bad for her about, because a lot of people can, and I can relate in some ways, but not to that extent. But a lot of people have been through anxiety or deal with anxiety on a day-to-day basis, and so I had so much empathy for her watching that scene. But I also like how they put that scene in there so that people watching, whoever is going through anxiety, can see that there is life at the end of it. And, you are able to overcome and deal with anxiety and things like that. So yeah, and, another thing she did mention that really helped her was the support from her friends and family. That really made such a difference for her. So it's like, when you're going through stuff like that, I know it's hard to like let your family in and stuff, but when your friends or family are so supportive, are present for you, are holding you up, it makes such a huge difference. Girl, did you guys see the scene where she was teaching her son how to drive? I was like, girl, she was anxious. I could feel the anxiety from the screen. I was like, girl, are you sure she should be the one teaching their son? But she did okay. She did okay. When her son was reversing and then there was a car coming and the son was like, and then the son didn't stop the car and instead said, I know. I was like, girl, dude, don't scare Miss Tiffany. Like, she is already anxious. Leave that woman alone. Don't stress her out. But it also reminded me of like, there was a time when, I let my friend drive my car. And like, when she was driving the car, I kept thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And there were moments where she was a bit too close to like certain cars. And I'm like, you're a bit too close. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, girl, please. But yeah, so these sort of things happen, man. Yeah. I think teaching anyone how to drive or, can be quite nerve-wracking, to be fair. But yeah, when when he said like the car needs to hurry up, like now that was something I could relate to. Imagine when you're like trying to pull out from a junction or something, turn left or turn right, and then you see this car coming, and then you slow down for this car, right? And then the car slows down, and you're like, yo, if I had known that this was the stunt you would have pulled, I would have gone. But because I waited for you, now you're waiting? Like, what the, like, now you're delaying me. So yeah, I totally understood. I totally understood the guy. Which was like, no, we don't do car rage. I thought that was funny too, but yeah. We move. Okay, so the next scene was a double date with Tiffany, her husband, and Tiana and her husband. So, well, as you guys know, I feel like there's no point in knowing the names of the husband because the show is about the ladies and we're probably not going to see much of the husbands anyway. So, yeah, you guys, permit me to just call them the husband. So when Tiffany basically said that, when Tiana said Tiffany is friends with everyone, ooh, I looked at Tiffany's face. Tiffany was not having that, guys. Like, she really did not like that. I could tell. But that being said, I'm with Tiffany on this one, right? The reason I say that is I'm a very friendly person. Like, I would meet someone out there and I would talk to the person. Like, let's say we met at an event. You're sitting next to me. I would talk to you. Let's say there was an event, you were sitting by yourself and you looked bored. I would be that person that would inconvenience myself just to walk up to you, to talk to you and say hi, just to make you feel comfortable and stuff. I'm just friendly like that. Now, there are days when I'm like, girl, you're by yourself. I don't want to be bothered. But most days I'm generally just friendly and I'm like, yeah, let's talk, right? But I'm not friends with everyone. So when people are like, oh my God, you have a lot of friends and you're friends with everyone, I hate that because the truth of the matter is I'm not friends with everyone. I can count my friends. Like, I have such a tight-knit circle of friends, but people think I'm friends with everyone because everyone literally are like, oh my God, I love her, or I'm friends with her, right? But the truth is I'm not friends with everyone, right? We don't have that relationship. I'm friendly. We get along. We can hang, but we're not necessarily friends. We're good acquaintances or we're acquaintances. You know, we're just not close like that. So yeah, I definitely got Tiffany's vibe on that. And I hate when people are like, oh, you're friends with everyone. I'm like, nah, I'm not friends with everyone. Anyways, yeah, and so I think it was Tiana's husband who basically said majority of the people are going to be self-absorbed. So pretty much ain't nobody going to be thinking about you. And I was like, okay. All right, sir, come through with a little bit of shade. And so the next scene was with Robin and a client. I believe his name was Frank. And Robin actually seems like she's been through a lot. Like in her confessionals, the vibe that she gives me, she just gives me like, girl, I've seen hell, I'm back. Like, she just seems like she's been through a lot. But I loved her energy with the clients. She was very personable and I love how she was talking to the person about like, you know, wealth creation and getting into real estate and, you know, you first buy your first property and then you move forward to doing more things and building legacy and wealth creation. I was like, yes, Robin, you better educate him, you know, and he seemed very interested in what she was saying. And I was like, okay, girl, I like your style of like speaking to, you know, people and speaking to clients just in that regard. Now, that being said, when the client was ready to purchase the house and make an offer, the way she jumped and was doing a little shimmy, I was like, oh, Frank. I was like, girl, that is team too much. You know, no. That just seemed unprofessional to me. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, I was a bit like, nah, girl. That's a bit much, sis. That is a bit much. So the next scene was with the award scene, right? So Tiana came up and got her little award. And she looks nice, though, I have to say. She was wearing this pink blazer and really short black skirt. I was like, okay, girl, show your legs if that's what you want to do. But I really like the blazer. I was like, girl, I probably wouldn't wear those shorts to an event like that, the skirts to an event like that, because I feel like it's too short. But that pink blazer was hot. I would rock that any day. Like, girl, how about you send me that pink blazer, sis? Like, I'm sure you don't wear it more than once anyway. But yeah, then the girls started talking about the upcoming dinner with Robin. And so Kira started becoming petty, and she started talking about the building Robin sells from, and well, it doesn't have a parking space. I'm like, girl, this woman is working hard, and so are you, I'm sure. Don't try and undermine what she's doing. I don't like that. I don't like when people do that. Like, it's okay for you to do luxury stuff. It's okay for her to do downtown stuff. Like, most people can't afford, and also if you weren't a real estate agent, you probably wouldn't be able to afford the luxury stuff you're now doing, hun. Like, stop it. Don't do that. I didn't like that at all. But she was throwing a little bit of shade on Robin for the property in which she sells from, and saying, almost just giving the impression that Robin isn't doing so well. I didn't like that at all. I was like, girl, stop. You seem too pressed because Robin unfollowed you. Like, people unfollow people all the time. If people that I unfollowed came up to me and were having an attitude, I'm like, girl, Or like people that unfollowed me, like, these things happen. I've been following people and they followed me before they became celebrities and had millions of followers. And when they had millions of followers, they unfollowed me. That would be like me saying, oh my God, you unfollowed me. Like, nah, it ain't that deep. It is what it is. We move. Like, it's not that serious. Anyways, then we finally had the famous Robin's dinner. All the girls came, and then Robin came through in a pink dress. Now, can I just say, I feel like Robin loves her pink, because I've seen her, she had the pink look in the confessional, she had the pink look when she was selling the property to Mr. Frank, and now she came to the dinner in a pink dress. Like, girl, is your outfit all pink? Actually, no, I would correct myself. The dress that she wore to the real estate client thing was slightly different. It was more purple than pink. But anyways, she loves that. She loves her pink, it seems. Anyway, so when the lady started talking about, what do you want from everyone, Robin proceeds to say, I haven't thought it through yet, but as soon as she said that, I was like, girl, that's not a way to start a sentence when you're pitching to other people. For me, I'm like, okay, if you're trying to pitch to someone, you need to act like you know what you're talking about. That's the first thing. You need to come across as knowing what you're talking about. I would not be comfortable if the person that was meant to talk to me about business proceeds to say, oh, I haven't thought it through yet, but no. Think it through, then come have the chat with me. Now, I have to say, she did redeem herself a little bit, but I think for me, I would have probably been like, girl, why did you call me here? Why am I here if you haven't thought it through yet? I just don't like when people don't think things through and then they start to pitch it to other people. Like, yes, you can pitch it to your friends, you can pitch it to people that you're already friends with, but you're pitching it to a set of girls that don't really know you like that. And first impressions matter. If you came and you were like, okay, this is what I have in mind, this is this is that, perhaps maybe the reception would have been a little bit better. But you coming across like you're not even sure why we're here is not a good look at all. So shout out, if anyone is listening to this, if you're ever going to pitch anything to a bunch of people that don't know you, make sure even people that know you, make sure you come correct. Don't act like you're confident about your vision and then they're more likely to come on board with it. If I came to someone and I'm like, okay, here is the business idea. This is what I'm thinking. You have the skills, you have this. Let's come together and collaborate on this thing. My vision for this is we would be able to tap into this market. We'll be able to have this audience. We'll be able to have, this is our target audience. This is this. If you're able to do that, someone will think and be like, okay, girl, she knows what she's talking about. I want to find out more about this. That's a better way to pull people in than starting the conversation with less confidence. Even if you ain't got confidence, you gotta fake it on this one. Appear confident and you will become confident. Alrighty. I just had to give you a little two cents on business stuff. Anyways, we move. So back to the famous dinner, right? So everyone starts airing their grievances against Miss Robin. Kiana started talking about, when collaborating with women, we need a level of trust and respect. I was like, okay, girl, I agree. And then Kiana and Robin proceeded talking. They started talking back and forth, talking about, the licenses that she's brought up a few episodes now. Oh, I wanted you to store my licenses for me. I just didn't feel this. I just didn't feel that. I'm not going to go into it again because I'm tired of this whole license talk. If I'm being honest. I bet you guys are as well. And so they kept talking back and forth. Then Miss Crystal, who is meant to be BFF with Robin, decided to butt in. I was like, girl, can you not? I don't like when people are having a conversation and then you feel the need to butt in. And it's not like you're butting in to try to calm the situation down, but you're saying like your little 2 cents, agreeing with one party or the other. It's like, if you're not going to stay neutral, stay quiet. Stay neutral or stay quiet, okay? Next thing, so Robin started to talk about her mental health and the challenges she has had, and speaking to Kiana as to when you were, needing my help and stuff. I wasn't even in that space where I was feeling anything, Kiana then proceeded to say, well, don't deflect. I said, sis, ooh, I don't like when people say that when someone is talking. Let the person talk first, and then you can say what you want to say. But you saying don't deflect is insensitive, especially because if someone is talking about their mental health, girl, like chill. It's not the right time to be talking about don't deflect. And then Robin was like, no. Robin was not having that. So they had their own little, back and forth. Then Miss Tiffany, I like Tiffany so far. I hope she doesn't surprise me and then I'm like, girl, I can't stand her. But I like Tiffany so far because Tiffany then stepped in to try and calm the situation down between Kiana and Robin. She's such a peacemaker. She practically jumped in. I was like, perhaps you guys can have your conversation later and, privately and stuff like that. And I just love how she got involved. Now, that's what Crystal, BFF, should have been doing if she was really interested in calming situation down. Instead, she was instigating, and we'll come to her in a moment. I have a lot to say about Miss Crystal, honey. Anyways, we move. Then Kira decided that, now is the best time to bring up the fact that I was unfollowed. So Kira began to talk about being unfollowed by Robin and Crystal. Oh, you guys used to follow me and comment on my stuff, and then you guys unfollowed me, blah, blah, blah. So Robin started to talk about, the algorithm. Kira did not even let her finish. Kira was like, no, unfollowing someone is an intentional decision. I'm like, girl, chill. Let her explain what she's saying. And I say that because I personally think Robin was trying to say with the algorithm, certain people are not engaging. If you're not engaging, I decided to unfollow you because it is better for your Instagram to have people that follow and engage with your content than people that follow you and do not engage with your content. I personally think that's where Miss Robin was going, but she didn't even let her finish, so we would never know. But Kira was just being so rude. So Kira then said, don't be a fan and then come to dinner and act like an op. I'm like, girl, you are childish as hell. You are having a full-blown argument with someone because they unfollowed you. Now, Robin was dismissive. Robin comes across as being very dismissive. I think because she's been through a lot in her life, she doesn't understand petty arguments. So instead of trying to understand where that person is coming from, she definitely comes across as dismissive, girl, okay, sorry. But if someone said, okay, sorry to me, I would be irritated. Hear me out first, hear why I'm upset, and then you can apologize. Don't just apologize to shut me up. And I think that's what Robin does, which is quite annoying for people. So I get why Kira was upset, but I think Kira was on 10 for something that she didn't need to be on 10 for in the first place. Okay, now let's get into Miss Crystal. Crystal. Where do I even start from with this woman, Crystal? So Crystal got involved, right? So Kira and Robin were having a back and forth. Robin said some things about Kira being childish. How old are you? Blah, blah, blah. Kira said and threw a lot of shade. Her voice was intense, all of that, right? Crystal then gets involved and says to Robin, stop, stop, stop. Guys, telling someone to stop in the middle of an argument is like telling someone to calm down in the middle of an argument. It is not helpful, guys. If you are listening today and you're one of those people that do that, don't do it. You're a gaslighter. Don't do it. If you wanted them to stop, you don't go to one person and tell them to stop like they are the reason for the argument. It takes two to tango. Let's say one of them came across on 10 and the other was calm. It wouldn't have led to an argument. It would be one person arguing with themselves. Okay? But both of them are heated. If you're going to say stop, you say, ladies, stop. Let's all calm down. You don't say, Robin, stop. Robin, stop. 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 Like, no, it's not helpful. It is annoying, okay? It is instigating, ma'am. You should know better. You should know better, Miss Closing Attorney. You should. It's not right. I don't even like telling people to calm down. You see the way Tiffany interrupted between Robin and Kiana and said something helpful to the conversation, which calmed the situation down. That's what Miss Crystal should have been doing. Not stop, Robin, stop. Like, no sis, you are the problem. You're trying to act like a peacemaker, but you're an instigator. That's how I really feel, And then for Crystal to then say, stop, you're triggered. Stop, you're triggered. That bothered me on so many levels. That is gaslighting at its finest. You don't say, stop, you're triggered. Stop, you're triggered. Saying you're triggered to someone is a trigger. It's like you pulling the gun to their head and shooting them, especially when they've talked about having mental health issues. You don't say trigger is a strong word. You cannot talk about someone being triggered. There's a difference between saying, oh, I know that is a trigger for you when we're having a peaceful and civil conversation versus stop, you're triggered. Now, if I wasn't triggered before, you telling me stop and triggered will trigger me. It's the same way I'm not irritated yet and someone is telling me, calm down. Like, girl, I'm calm, but now I'm about to be irate, honey. Because I don't know what you're on about. So, for me, saying stop, you're triggered is a full-on attack. So if you're one of those people, if you're someone like Crystal who says things like that, you need to watch it because that is gaslighting. If someone tells me you are triggered, sis, we are done and there ain't no coming back. On that note, thank you for listening to this episode. If you like this episode, please make sure you share, give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, please share, please put the word out. I'm still new to this commentary thing, so please support your girl. And yeah, I'm going to give you the next episode shortly. Enjoy, guys.